Vibes got the vibes.
I'm
I'm not gonna lie to the world.
Scotty Edwards. Quote.
Did you watch any of the Stardom show?
I watched the pre-show. I wasn't able to watch the rest of the show.
Oh my god!
The pre-show was on YouTube, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll watch this real quick, and then I was like, I don't have the time to watch anything else.
Oh, right.
I got back from the movies, and I had like a super bad headache.
You had one job.
I had a headache.
And it was to watch everything
right behind my eyeball.
Watch everything. Did you at least watch everything else we're going to talk about?
Yes, I did. So I will be able to walk you through Stardom.
I have an emotional journey through the Stardom pay-per-view.
I'm excited to watch it. I'll be honest. I'm super excited to watch it.
Well, a lot of fucking shit happened.
Yeah, I know, man. I had a headache and my eyeball hurt, and it I'm turning Nick Jackson. I'm a bird. God. I'm a bird of a man. Okay, here we go.
Meet us in the ring. Something Mexican.
There we go.
Oh wow, Lash Legend's bad.
I know exactly what clip you're talking about.
Not great.
Not an ideal wrestling maneuver. All right. We are streaming. We're moving. We're grooving.
It was wild to me that Bret Hart's career ended on this super kick by Goldberg.
Oh, Bret Hart.
Yeah.
I thought you said Bret Favre. I was like, what? What happened? I was like, I don't think that's how his career ended.
Meet us in the ring. We're gonna preview the biggest match of the week.
Which is
AEW sending Hook.
If you like, we can bring up Hook. Of course, we can bring up Hook.
No, I'm just kidding. He's fighting Bear Bronson. I can give a shit less. Bear Bronson. No offense to Bear Country.
Hey man, Bear Bronson is a former 24/7 title holder.
What?
That's a fact. That is a goddamn fact and a half.
Was he a fan that won it?
No, what? He was Santa Claus.
Oh, wow. Wow.
He was in fact Santa Claus, and he won.
Who Santa Claus is someone different?
Oh, my mistake. My apologies, good sir. He is in fact that he won, and he won the 24/7 title. So
meet us in the ring. You are Mexican.
Let's get the show started. Why don't we?
I didn't have the usual Bryan Danielson song, so now I'm all messed up. But we power through.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do the show. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only show that when it has a bigger show, they wake up an hour early to review everything and make sure that we get all the wrestling conversation for you and your listening ears. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this Sunday morn. I am Ryan Knights, and with me, as always, is Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing, my friend?
I am tired.
Fair.
I will not lie. I am tired. I have to work 8 hours today. I don't know what else I could give you. A little heartbroken, a little excited. I don't know. We got a lot of wrestling to talk about. We're off next week. For those who forget, I'm going to say it now just so that we remember to say it again in 2.5 hours. And Yeah, we got a big lost what I was gonna say.
Wow.
We got a big platter of wrestling talkage for you today, and we're gonna start off with something different.
Yes.
So Ryan, take it away.
Yeah. So it is the end of the year, and like all,
I can confirm it is the end of the year.
According to my, hold on, let me pull up my calendar here, and I believe yes, it is in fact the end of the year.
My sources confirm.
The streets are saying it. That it is the end of the year, and like we did last year over at the Countout Network, we are doing our Countout year-end awards. So we have 9 categories up for awards. We're presenting the nominations to you all on Ring Post Radio, and I can't do clickable links obviously on Twitch or Facebook on the live stream, but we'll tweet out the links and everything. And if you're listening to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever, there will be a link to the Google form page where you can make your votes for the year-end awards for the next 2 weeks. And then we'll reveal it on January 2nd on Ring Post Radio as well.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add in, like, every nomination is from the Countout family. So everyone got their own thoughts in, and I think that's what makes it a very special list. What is it?
Yeah, no,
voting.
Yeah,
is that what it's called?
This is when we say like everybody, it is all. It's a small group we have here at Count Out, but I think that all 10 of us put nominations in, ranging from deathmatch wrestling fans to Joshi fans to new fans to old fans. We have a good group here that has a
whatever
wide
Ryan
variety.
is.
Whatever I am, who knows? We have a good variety of people in the Countout family. So there's a lot of variety in these nominations. We have a lot of people in the nominations this year. We have a lot because and that's something I'll figure out next year about how to get better nominations, because boy howdy, basically how it worked is everyone had up to 3 nominations per category. I thought that there would be more crossover. Turns out this year there aren't a lot of like already based on like wholly on like the nomination, Scotty, there aren't like a lot of like very obvious like winners at all. There's a couple categories where it's like, oh yeah, this one's gonna win, right? Yeah. But there's like male wrestler of the year, female wrestler of the year. There's not a lot of breakaways, and that's just in our nominations, just in like crossover. So I'm intrigued more than ever at who's gonna win each categories. But basically how it is, everyone got up to 3 nominations per category. People just can nominate 1 in categories or 2 or whatever. You understand how that means. When you the listener votes in each category, going on that Google form page, you will be able to see you can vote for first place, second place, and third place in each of the categories. Basically meaning that if you vote for, let's say, male wrestler of the year, you vote for Kenny Omega as your first place nomination, he'll get 3 points. If you vote for, I don't know, Shingo as second place, then he gets 2 points, and whoever you vote as your third place gets 1 point. And that's how it's going to work all the way down. Eventually, whoever gets the most points are going to be third, second, and first place, and it'll be the award winners for the Countout Network 2021 year-end awards. And we'll reveal those, like I said, January 2nd on Ring Post Radio as well. Scotty, do you want to stroll on through these nominations with me?
Heck yeah. I don't have the list in front of me, but heck yeah.
It's on the run sheet that I sent you, my man.
That's embarrassing on my end. I'm sorry, guys.
It's literally there. Like, you looked at it this morning. I saw that you were looking at it this morning, my guy. That's fine.
Here's my complaint.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm here. I can read it off with you. Would you like me to read female wrestler of the year so you can go with the male?
Sure. I'll present the nominations for male wrestler of the year.
Oh, you're actually going to have a clap.
Or should we have more regal sound?
I don't think we need either one, truthfully. It might take extra time to do that.
That's fair. That's fair. Male Wrestler of the Year nominations are Kenny Omega. This is obviously in no particular order. Kenny Omega, Walter, Lee Moriarty, Shingo Takagi, Jonathan Gresham, Roman Reigns, Big E, Jon Moxley, Effie, Bryan Danielson, Adam Page, Will Ospreay, and Jungle Boy.
That's a true source of wrestling throughout the world right there.
That is a wide variety right there. Like I said, a lot of nominations. So definitely go ahead and vote. I would say right now, but I haven't tweeted out the link, so maybe I should tweet out that link too.
I'll go female wrestler of the year. We got Tommy Hayashishita, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Serena Deeb, Chris Statlander, Tam Nakano, Charlotte Flair, Trish Adora, Deonna Purrazzo, Sherry, Jordan Grace, Thunder Rosa, Bianca Belair, and Ruby Soho. Nailed it.
You did nail it. I loved it. That was great. Another great category. I think the female wrestler of the year is like, there's a lot of people in there. I'm like, oh man, there's a lot of good spots in here. There's someone I already voted on who I want to.
Did you vote correctly, Ryan?
The street's gonna attack me if I voted incorrectly.
There's correct choices, Ryan. There's correct choices.
Oh no!
I'm not saying who I nominated. I would never give away who I nominated.
I do have that list of who Scotty nominated. I'll put you on blast.
I don't think it's very difficult to figure it out. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Looking at that female wrestler list, I have a good idea of who you might have nominated.
No, seeing that I forgot that half of the people I said were people, then yeah. So.
Let's move on to Tag Team of the Year. Tag Team of the Year, of course. Award for the best tag team of the year. We have Lucha Brothers. What? I was explaining what the category.
Tag Team of the Year, of course, is for the best tag team, of the year.
Lucha Brothers, the Young Bucks, FTR, Grizzled Young Veterans, MSK. I'm just going to say Julia and Shuri. I don't know how to pronounce it. 2.0, Varsity Blondes, RK Bro, Bussy, I believe it's pronounced. Bussy. Best Friends, and Main. Is it Main State? Did I forget to change it? I believe it's Main State Posse. Shit, this is a goddamn travesty. Main
Hot
State.
Start to the nominations.
Hot start, baby.
Independent Wrestler of the Year. Lee Moriarty, Jordan Oliver, Daniel Garcia, Allie Katch, MV Young, Wheeler Utah, Trish Adora, Davey Richards, Effie, Masha Slamovich, War Horse, and Willow Nightingale.
Another really good category. I'll be honest. Like, there's a lot of different people there that had a lot of good years.
And a lot of them are now signed.
A lot, and yeah, oh yeah, that, and that's the thing of Independent Wrestler of the Year. Of course, you have to be independent, unsigned for the majority of the year. Obviously, most of these people, well, some of these people got signed and then their promotion shut down. I'm looking at you, Trish Adora, or Willow. Anyways, promotion of the year. I think this is the category that is the most breakaway, but I guess we'll see. We have nominated for promotion of the year AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, WWE, Enjoy Wrestling out of Pittsburgh, GCW, Stardom, and Beyond Wrestling out of
This isn't a shot at anything, but I hope WWE finishes behind Enjoy Wrestling.
Yeah, I don't expect WWE to get many nominations in this many votes.
They get a third place voted.
Yeah, someone might vote them as third place, maybe,
because they don't want to vote anything else.
But just if Enjoy gets second place vote by one person, then they'll immediately beat them. So there we go.
All right, we got a thick boy now here, ladies and gentlemen. We got match of the year for major promotions. There's a difference.
There was a big discussion about this.
Yeah. So we kind of had a big discussion of what's major, what's minor. But it allows more matches to be recognized, which is very nice. So for major promotion matches of the year, we got Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros, the AEW Tag Team Championship and Steel Cage match at AEW All Out. We have Shingo Takagi versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at New Japan Wrestle Dontaku Night 2, because I just remembered they kept doing 2 nights for every pay-per-view they did. Walter versus Ilya Dragunov for the NXT United Kingdom Championship at NXT TakeOver 36. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship at AEW Full Gear. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa in the unsanctioned Lights Out match on AEW Dynamite's St. Patrick's Day Slam Special. Jay White versus Kota Ibushi for the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental titles at Wrestle Kingdom 15 Day 2. Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega from AEW Grand Slam. And the Lucha Brothers versus Laredo Kid and El Hijo de Vikingo AAA Tag Team title match at AAA Heroes Inmortales 14. Can I do the second match of the year? I had a good time reading those off. I'm not gonna lie.
If you like, it's a longer list.
That's fine. That's fine. I had a great time getting amped.
Yeah,
I didn't read the list before this, ladies and gentlemen. I am reading this on live, ready to go. So you're getting my full thoughts. So if I make faces, I'm sorry.
I think this is a good. I should say we didn't say what the result of the conversation was. Basically, we were trying to determine what constitutes a major promotion. I think because we're still trying to figure that out. Because we're talking TV deal, we're talking big time shows selling out as much as you possibly can.
And then AAA.
AAA's in there. AAA, I would say, is that's a great point. AAA has gotten into the American market a little bit, I would say, and the big question about what is a major minor promotion centered around Stardom as a promotion. Yeah. I would say AAA is bigger than Stardom. I would have to look into the numbers of all that. I know, and it's tough. But I would say AAA has gotten probably more in America than Stardom has, maybe.
Oh, this time next year, different conversation.
And that is also part of it, is that you and I obviously spoke to you mostly about this when it came to Stardom, was that it feels like Stardom is like the most maximum minor promotion and just ready to just next year seems like the leap to get into major. If they did it's just like they need a couple more things so that really to break into the American market. You know, do like an English commentary team. Do like, better streaming service. Maybe, these things I think can help bring them over the edge. And, we talked about it last week that they're making a crap ton of money. So they're definitely fairly major in terms of a Japanese national level. But we're talking international. I feel like major. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that is international. Maybe it's not major, but international.
Maybe.
I just had that thought. Maybe
they're growing either way. They're currently, like, in terms of attendance, they're third in Japan, behind New Japan and Dragon Gate. So that's almost good enough. But I was pretty much I had to be the main decider there. I was like, okay, I won't lie as much as I want to. But it also gave me a chance to nominate more matches, so I'm not going to complain.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Match of the year for minor independent promotion. We got Alex Colon versus Drew Parker for the GCW Ultraviolet and BJW Death Match Championship match. Oh my God. GCW Homecoming Night 1. We got Utami.
Do you just want to say like the wrestlers that are wrestling and then the show maybe?
No, I got to do the whole thing. I need to give the preface behind the match. We got Utami Hayashishita versus Shuri for the World of Stardom Championship at Stardom Tokyo Dream Cinderella. I wonder who picked that one. Atticus Kogar, versus Alex Colon in the Tournament of Survival 66. Whew. Okay. Ricky Shane Page versus Joey.
Freaking out, Scotty. You're freaking out.
I got this. Whew. Ricky Shane Page versus Joey Janella for the GCW World Title versus Spring Break show at GCW Take Care. My goodness. Daniel Garcia versus Lee Moriarty for the Limitless World Title, and it was a submission match to further that, and that was at Limitless Suffer No Fools. The OGK versus the Briscoes at ROH Final Battle. John Moxley versus Josh Barnett from GCW Bloodsport 6. Wheeler Utah versus Daniel Garcia at IWTV 100. Momo Watanabe versus Shuri in the 5-star Grand Prix final. Effie versus Matt Cardona at GCW Fight Club Mox versus Gage. Nick Gage versus Matt Cardona for the GCW World Title in a death match at GCW Homecoming Night 1. Bussy versus SGC at GCW No Signal in the Hills. El Hijo del Vikingo versus Arez from Riot Lucha Libre. COVID de Dotas. I tried. Kino versus Katsuhiko Nakajima from N1 Victory Final at the Noah N1 Victory Night 6. Lee Moriarty versus Darius Lockhart from Enjoy Night Moves. And finally, the final match of the many. Will Ospreay versus Ricky Knight Jr. At Rev Pro High Stakes. It got better once I stopped reading the title match or whatever.
No, yes. I think this is our list of the most nominations and categories in the category. Some late comers in OGK versus Briscoes. We got Lucha, we got Noah, we got Enjoy, we got Rev Pro, a true multi-continent, multi-country list here.
I think it's the list that tells you how unique of a team Canada is, and I think that's great.
Completely agree. I completely agree with that.
Good luck counting the votes.
I've already started. Breakout Star of the Year. So what this category is, and I guess I'll do the next one too, because this has a little bit of a preamble as well, Scotty. Breakout Star of the Year. We did this last year as well. It's basically the idea of, not necessarily Wrestler of the Year for me or you or whomever, right. But someone that undoubtedly impressed me. Someone that I believe, for example, last year's winner was, I believe, Mr. Brody Lee. I should look that up. Should we let me look up who won last year. But if I'm not mistaken, the last year's winner was Brody Lee. Someone who was despite being in WWE for years, despite obviously being popular and having a lot of people behind him, coming to AEW was such a revelation, such like a new character, such a new energy he brought. It was like, oh my God, he's actually really, really great. And it was sad to see him pass, of course. But it's that same sort of idea of someone that maybe you've seen them for years and now they're peaking, or someone that is on an indie scene level and they're like, oh crap, they had a great year. They really broke out this year. And so that's what this category is all about. So your nominations are Matt Cardona, Micah, Danhausen, Ali Catch, Maka Ito, Miro, Eddie Kingston, Ruby Soho, Daniel Garcia, Drew Parker, Bianca Belair, Lee Moriarty, 2.0, Jeff Cobb, Adam Page, and MV Young. There was a point in time, Scotty, where someone described my voice as very Ryan Seacresty, and I'm really taking advantage of it here.
Interesting, because I thought you were going to say very Ryan Knightsy.
It is also very Ryan Knightsy. It is undoubtedly very Ryan Knightsy. I'll explain this category, Scotty, and then I'll let you do the nominations. Actually,
hell yeah,
because I know you wanted to do this one so much. So this next category, every year, final category. Every year, we like to do some sort of like special one-off award. Last year was the Lemonade Award, given to those that made lemonade out of lemons, made a sandwich out of shit. Well, maybe not necessarily that phrase.
It's made chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Exactly. That was
not a sandwich out of shit.
Whatever. Anyways, the award's gone. Last year's winner was to AEW's Brody Lee Memorial episode of Brody Lee. This year, instead of Lemonade Award, we are doing the Forbidden Award, an award given to the best Forbidden Door moment. If 2020 has taught us anything, it is that promotions can work together and that we can get some cool ass moments throughout the world of professional wrestling. And there was definitely a lot that happened in professional wrestling in multiple different companies. So let's get to the nomination, Scotty.
Jon Moxley in GCW, Minoru Suzuki's United States run, Nick Gage versus Chris Jericho in a death match on AEW Dynamite, Kenta arriving in AEW. Yes, that did happen this year.
February of this year. That feels like a lifetime away.
Good Brothers in the Super Elite, Kenny Omega, the belt collector, wrestling in both Impact Wrestling and AAA. Tony Khan making fun of WWE about rumored New Japan partnership. Christian versus Kenny Omega for the Impact World Championship on AEW Rampage. Ric Flair showing up in AAA. And AEW seemingly ending the relationship with Impact Wrestling.
Some salty picks, salty noms in this one. Salty nominations in this category.
Those are really good. Really, really good. Everyone did a great job. I think some people name certain things that I definitely forgot about too.
Oh my god, yeah. I when I put my nominations in, I thought at the time, like, okay, yeah, these are some good nominations. I think I'll definitely vote for pretty much anyone I nominated. And then looking through that list, I was like, oh crap. They had a like breakout star of the year. It was a really hard category to vote in because it was just like, oh man. Like I'll say I didn't nominate Miro, but when I saw Miro's name on that list, I was like, holy crap, he did have a great year. Holy crap, he did break out this year. And so it's just a really hard category to think of, and that also just goes to show what we have here is that we are able to reach the gamut that is professional wrestling.
Yeah, go team,
go. I believe it's Gamut. Is it Gambit? I think it's Gamut.
Have you watched the Queen's Gambit? Great show on Netflix if you haven't. Love it.
It's all about chess, correct?
It's about chess, but it's great. It's fantastic. And I'm not a chess guy. I don't play chess. I don't know how to play chess, but it's a great show.
I'm a chess guy. I did chess camp when I was younger.
Okay, so you should probably watch it then.
This might be an embarrassing story. It's a quick tangent. So Jessie doesn't know how to play chess. She, for whatever reason, never learned how to play chess. I don't know if that's a comment. I don't know if most people know how to play chess now that I think about it. But she doesn't know how to play chess. So I taught her the moves of what everything does and what she could do. And then we played each other in a game of chess. And she beat me. So I'm just saying that I'm a great coach.
That's good. That's why you gotta watch Queen's Gambit. You'll have a lot of never mind. Just whatever.
Perfect. Well, that is the Count Out Year-End Awards, of course. Nominations are open now until January 1st, start of the new year. So we're really getting those votes in now. I should also say that these nominations, people were in Count Out, the Count Out team were able to nominate people up until yesterday. So if there were recent matches that may have been great, and people would have put them in, or they might not have. I'm addressing.
Yeah, Danielson versus Hangman didn't get in, people. Get over it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm like the political figure, and you're like the person. This is what politics should have: a political figure, and then someone on the side being like, "Get over it." We all know what we're all trying to say. I guess we're doing the Key and Peele bit now that I think about it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But yeah,
happy to be here.
And we'll address that match, and I guess, and plenty of more, because we got a lot of other wrestling topics to get to. Of course, we're going to.
You mean all of them?
Pretty much all of them. We got a lot of big shows: Stardom, Osaka Super Wars, the New Japan Best of Super Juniors, and World Tag League final matches. AEW Winter is coming, which will mostly just talk about the one match. I don't think we have any hot takes about Wardlow versus Matt Sydal. And then, of course, we're going to talk about Ring of Honor's final battle. But before we get all of that, Scotty, let's go over. Want to do some news now, or you want to do news later? Where do you want to do the news?
News now sounds good.
News now. Let's start off with a happy note. Let's go happy note first. And that was, of course, Kevin Owens. Well, happy note for some, maybe. Kevin Owens re-signs with WWE. I'll do it the Michael Cole way. WWE. You got to really hit those doubles. He re-signs with the company. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, he says that apparently Kevin Owens signed what seems to be a 3-year deal in WWE. Getting the new contract is something in the lines of $2 to $3 million. So, he gets one of those good brother contracts of $1 million a year. That's pretty good.
Unless he meant 2 to 3 per year.
Yeah, I guess for clarity, Dave didn't clarify what that was. He just said it was roughly 2 to 3 mil a year. But that's undoubtedly the bag. Undoubtedly helping out his family. Of course, Kevin Owens did a podcast where he also explained his decision, saying that
not that he needed to,
but I certainly felt that was weird to do that. But he went on it. Basically, he explained that it was a very solid offer, and he was doing what was best for his family. He was already with WWE for 7 years. It's the most he's ever been with any other promotion, and he felt that this was the right place for him. So he decided to stay for an extra 3 years. So, Scotty, thoughts on Kevin Owens re-signing with WWE? How do you feel about it?
I have many thoughts. I have a few thoughts. I just have thoughts.
Real de-escalation of the thoughts there. I have many. I have a few.
I'm happy for
a couple.
I'm happy for Kevin Owens. First and foremost, I think that's what everyone's reaction should be. But of course, many people, understandably, were selfish and said, well, that sucks. Because, they wanted to see him in AEW. And, people just don't need to lie about it. That's what they were hoping. But his reasoning for why he did it, and the reason I expected if he did go back, holds up. And hopefully, this means that Kevin Owens will get a proper push in WWE, because they certainly, this was a big re-signing for them. This was I don't think people are talking about that enough. They needed him back.
This is like WWE's first win.
Yeah,
they didn't get Punk, they didn't get Danielson, they didn't get Cole,
and I think Kevin Owens is at least he's probably on the Cole level. I wouldn't say, but you put Kevin Steen into the world of AEW, you never know how far that goes, because that's how good he can be. But good for him. Go get the bag. I can't say that's a bad decision.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely feel like you're,
and he's never been treated wrong there. He's been underutilized recently.
Yeah,
but I mean, his first 2 years, he was pretty much a champion.
Yeah.
So,
no, yeah, I think it's if this is what he likes to do, then certainly go for it. I'll be part of that contrarian camp and saying, of course, I would have loved to rather see him in AEW. don't think. I'm not upset for him doing what he wants to do. It's whatever he wants to do. On the other hand, I would have loved to see him wrestle a bunch of new people. Obviously AEW would have thrown the bag at him as well. I don't think there's a doubt in that mind. And yeah, I think I obviously would have preferred to see him in there just because I wanted to see new, fresh matches from Kevin Owens. But alas, he decided he chooses to stay. That's a good big win for WWE. I think that raises some cloud of worry and decision or whatever surrounding Sami Zayn and what he might do, just because of their friendship and connection. And also,
selfishly, I want him to leave more.
Really? Why is that?
Yeah, because I think he's been treated terrible compared to Kevin Owens.
And I also would like if Kevin Owens stayed and Sami Zayn left, just so we can get some separate. Like Kevin Owens is now what is Kevin Owens beyond Sami Zayn?
I'd like to think Sami Zayn has more friends than just Kevin Owens.
This is true. Friends and enemies than just Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I think I have just some weird hangups. I thought that podcast interview that Kevin Owens does explaining, very weird. I don't know. The conspiracy theorist brain in me is just like, why go on a podcast to explain why you're re-signing a contract? That I guess
it's because he pays attention to what people are saying, and he was probably like, okay, well, people are not going to be happy that I just re-signed, so why don't I explain myself? That's probably the reason, truthfully.
Yeah, I think he's going at it from a place of honesty and wanting to be honest with people, but it does feel weird to me that it's like, let me explain why I re-signed to this company, because I know people are going to be mad at me about it.
I mean, it's weird anytime any WWE person talks. I feel like it just doesn't happen a lot anymore. So
I also want to just point out that the big thing that everyone was worrying about on Twitter is that his contract is a no-cut contract. And I think that's a fair concern for people to have, just because, Braun Strowman re-signs to a massive money deal and then he gets cut a year later. So I understand why that is a concern for some people.
I mean, if they cut Kevin Owens, I think he'll have a job.
Yeah, I agree. Just like the Titan will and Ring of Honor. Moving on.
Not the same.
Moving right along. Sadly, we're going to announce as well. Not announce, but it's already been known. Jimmy Rave, wrestler Jimmy Rave, has passed away this week as well. I haven't seen a lot of Jimmy Rave stuff. I'm didn't really get into super indie wrestling and all the rest of the promotions till last year, 2 years ago or so. So I haven't seen a lot of Jimmy Rave stuff. Obviously, he was big in the southern region of America of wrestling. He popped up in TNA, New Japan, Ring of Honor with the Embassy is where he's known a lot more. Known for being that part of that sort of lower on the card heel stable. And then joining Impact as the Rock and Rave. I believe it was the Rock and Rave connection of Lance Hoyt. But he struggled a lot with drug abuse in the past couple of years. He got a triple amputation, and of course now we're at the point where he has passed away. So Jimmy Rave no longer with us. Sad to see another man go.
Some peace.
Do you have any?
What I'm doing here.
Do you have any thoughts on Jimmy Rave? Have you seen much? Of his wrestling?
I've never seen a Jimmy Rave match, but I do know people talk very highly of him, and I think that alone is enough reason to know this was a tough loss for the pro wrestling community. I know Gigi Dolin of NXT 2.0 wore a Jimmy Rave shirt on NXT this week, so I think if anyone's able to show their respects in any way, even like that, it's pretty cool. And rest in peace. Gone far too soon.
Gone far too soon.
I thought you were just gonna say Garfunkel, and I was like, what?
Garfunkel too soon. He's definitely been I heard, what was I listening to? I was listening to the Flagship, and they said that he, these aren't my thoughts; these are their thoughts. But they said that he felt very similar as like a new, crap, I'm losing it. Whoa, crap! What's his name? Oh no, he also passed away this year. Oh no, crap! What's his name? Scotty, help me out, please. I'm falling.
I don't know.
Falling. I'm failing and falling. Crap. I can't remember. I fucked this up, dude.
He just had it, and then you just completely lost it.
I had it, and then I lost it completely. I'm mad about it. I'm just mad about it now. And I can't find it anywhere online. Oh my God. I think this is gonna be a lost cause. I can't. Tracy Smothers. There it is.
Okay. All right, we gotta move on after that.
That's fair. That's fair. I tried to make a point and I lost the point. It wasn't even my point. So what am I doing? Anyways, rest in peace, Jimmy Reeve. Moving on, let us talk about Ring of Honor. Let's review Ring of Honor Final Battle. We were gonna do it last week, and then because of working hours for this guy,
yeah, some people are able to make it work.
Some people are able to make it work, but other people are called in on a Sunday to work, and then promptly work 6 days in a row, and then get called in. Did I tell you about this, Scotty? I got called in to work Monday and Tuesday of this week, which is during our 2-week Christmas break hiatus. I got called into work during hiatus. Great. Can't wait. Can't wait. Anyways, Ring of Honor Final Battle happened. Let's finally talk about it. Give some ice cold takes about what is seemingly the end of Ring of Honor. No one knows. It is a lot of suspect verbiage and words being thrown around, and like graphics being thrown around. Scotty, do you think this is the end of Ring of Honor?
I actually do not.
I'm
thinking about this. I don't think it's the complete end of Ring of Honor. Of course, it helps that the titles are being defended now everywhere. I think that just helps Ring of Honor live on in a sense. But I think I think there's a chance they come back. I don't know in what form. I don't know what the goal is there, but I think there's a better chance they come back. Sorry, I have a cold. But I think for a final show, if it is the end, they did it perfectly. I think, there were parts to the show where I just was like, okay, let's just get this over with. But, you kick into high gear when it matters most, and that's all people will remember. So I don't think it's the end like I did last week or last time we talked about it. Probably last week. But I definitely think this was a great send-off if it was.
Yeah, I think this was a very good show. Had I don't know what the not ticket sales. Well, I can see what the ticket sales were. I think on
they weren't great.
1620. Which that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think Hammerstein was like 2,000. So pretty good, and I'm certainly probably got a lot of pay-per-view buys. But yeah, no, it's sad to see Ring of Honor go. I agree. I don't think this is the end. I had the realization during watching the show that I think the finality-ness of the show is a little bit of PR. This is, I think there is a element of truth and possibility, but I think they're ramping it up to do some PR to maybe sell some pay-per-views. It is wrestling after all, so I think it's fair to suspect that. I have my conspiracy cap on all day apparently today. He's dying, folks. He's dying to talk about wrestling for you, and that's why you should celebrate Scotty here. But yeah, I thought Ring of Honor was I thought it was a pretty good show. I agree that there were some elements that we'll talk about it that left me wanting more. But
it's the last couple matches that like saved the show.
I completely agree.
Is how the card was booked, to be fair. So
that's true. Well, let's talk about. Let's start off with the pre-show because
I have so many thoughts.
I kind of like the pre-show a lot.
The pre-show is better than the first hour and a half.
Yeah, the pre-show is pretty good. That's why I want to make sure we talk about it. Starting off the show with the Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Title match. It was the Righteous, Bateman, Dutch, and Vincent who won the 6-Man Tag Team titles off of Khan, Moses, and O'Shea Edwards, off of Shane Taylor Promotions. So after the long-standing reign of Shane Taylor Promotions comes to an end, it is in fact the Righteous who leave with the champions. And this obviously was the first title change in the night, wasn't going to be the last, and that really had that whole element of like, oh man, there's a change of titles in the pre-show. Who the heck knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, match was fine. Vincent said post-show that he was the first and last 6-man tag team champion, so I thought that was a little interesting. The match was good. I mean, Dutch did a dive, so that's all you need to know about this one.
I thought this was I thought it was a good match. I really like this match.
It was the best match on the pre-show. It was probably, I want to say it's the best match until towards the end of the show, honestly. Remembering off the top of my head, I don't remember the first couple matches, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Next up, we had a 6-man tag team match that was Miranda Alizé, Angelina Love, and Mandy Leon, defeating the team of Chelsea Green, Allison Kay, and Marty Bell.
I hear a story, Ryan.
Sure.
So Ring of Honor and Stardom used to have a relationship. I don't know if you remember this.
I do. I went to a show. I realized this recently where I went to a show where they had a 6-man women's tag match with, I believe,
probably Kagetsu
and
Hana
Kimura. I believe Hazuki. I don't know if Hazuki was in
probably,
there.
Yeah.
Probably, but I also don't know if she was in there.
I think it was those three.
And on the other side, Chris Statlander was on the other side. And I think Ashley Fox.
Interesting. Well, one, jealous. Not because of the Ashley Fox and Chris Statlander team. Two, that was not a shot at them, by the way. That was not a shot. And two, let me finish my story since I have to remember it now. So they used to have a relationship, and they, Ring of Honor would send some of their talent there, and as you just said, Stardom would send some of their talent to Ring of Honor. Mayu Iwatani's a former Women of Honor champion, which is, she defended it at the Madison Square Garden show. Just, for background. Mandy Leon has defeated Io Shirai.
Yes.
In a Stardom ring.
This is correct.
For those people who don't know, you know how Io Shirai's build in NXT? Think about that times 100 as this, unbeatable being. And she lost to Mandy Leon. Anyways, continue.
Mandy Leon, definitely a mainstay in the Ring of Honor women's division. So it was nice to see her end with the victory, I guess.
Speak for yourself.
So I'm interested to see where she will go.
No, you're not.
After this, she's been.
How she goes.
She was a Ring of Honor dojo member. She's been in Ring of Honor since 2014. So this is definitely her promotion. She is a quote unquote legend in the Ring of Honor women's division. There's.
Hope she goes and fights Alley Catch, and other people have to watch.
Yeah, I'm at the very least.
I have no idea where she's gonna go.
Me neither. She hasn't wrestled since Final Battle, but she also could come back. I guess that is always the thing. She could always come back. Moving right along, we also had a 10-man tag team match, a very fun 10-man tag team match, I thought. Flip Gordon, PJ Black, Brawler Malonis, and the Beer City Bruiser, and world famous CB coming out dressed exactly like Cheeseburgers used to wear. Defeating the team of Demonic Flamita, LSG, Maxi Impaler, Sledge, and Will Ferrara.
Fun match, really fun match. I thought it had to surprise a lot of people, but when you have 10 people that want to go out there and show the world that, hey, well, here's what we got, because really some of these matches were auditions, they really were for the future. And I think everyone did great in their part to shine a little bit. So good job on this one.
Yeah, it was nice to see a big multi-man match to get all those like undercard, mid-card guys in there real quickly, because it was definitely and you can tell by just looking at the poster. This was all about trying to get as much of the Ring of Honor talent on this card as much as possible, because this company in the past 2 years lived and breathed and died on that talent, and they wanted to thank you to those people as much as it is to anybody else.
It was so sad that you said died.
Well, who knows?
It's not wrong.
Maybe they'll pull the Jesus move, and 3 months later they'll be resurrected like a phoenix through the ashes.
All right.
That's all, man. They I know they're coming back, and they already have the show named. I forget what it is, but they already have the show named. What the next one is, but I would love if they just renamed it to like Ring of Honor Phoenix. And then that's a real dumb move. So maybe they not do that. Anyways, so then the actual proper show started. Caprice Coleman.
When we go downhill, ladies and gentlemen.
Caprice Coleman, Ian Riccaboni pleading the audience to buy the pay-per-view. You love to see it. And so it got me to buy the pay-per-view. I wasn't necessarily thinking I would have bought it that night, but I definitely did. I wanted to support Ring of Honor one last time. I brought we don't know if we're gonna do like a retrospective on Ring of Honor, but I remember Ring of Honor was like when I got back into wrestling after I was in it when I was like in middle school. Then I took a break, and when I got back into it, Ring of Honor was the first couple shows I went to because I was in Maryland. I went to the UMBC arena, so Ring of Honor helped me out there a little bit. I was able to see. I went to that one show that had the Briscoes versus the Young Bucks a couple years ago, and it was like amazing. I went to that show. I've seen Dalton Castle. I've seen Cody and some other guy that isn't named anymore. I've seen all these guys, and it was really nice to see Ring of Honor. I wanted to help them one last time, of course. And they helped us to some pretty good matches for the most part. I don't know. Starting off the show with Dragon Lee versus Ray Horos, with Dragon Lee defeating Ray Horos with 3 incinerators to like the back of the head, 11 minutes and 21 seconds.
I dream of the day that Dragon Lee can go back to New Japan because he's so good. I thought this match was one of the better matches on the early part of the card. It's definitely the match I probably would have kicked off the show with because, they're going to hit some crazy spots. And really, this match was a couple crazy spots, and that was it. Which is weird because I think Dragon Lee's so good. I think Ray Horos is pretty good too. And I don't know. I'm not shocked because like going into this, I was like, I feel like these two probably don't have as much of a major connection to Ring of Honor, like certain people that would ultimately be in the and main event. But they had a good showing because they're never going to have a bad match.
Yeah. I think this match was perfectly executed, okay match for me personally. I thought, I wasn't like super into it or anything, but I was like, I can tell that they were putting in good work. Dragon Lee, I think, is great. I would love if he popped up at Wrestle Kingdom to challenge the winner of the IWGP Junior. Why not? Why not, man? He was supposed to be in the Best of Super Juniors, I think, this year. Maybe last year. But he was supposed to be in it. He's supposed to be in it.
Great.
Let's get him in there. I thought this match was pretty good. I like Dragon Lee going out on top. Dragon Lee is just great. Ray Horos, perfectly solid.
This is so weird reviewing the show because this is later than usual for us. Like this is an extra day, and I'm trying to remember the show as we are sitting here. I'm going to be honest to the people. I'm trying to remember the show outside of the last 2 matches because.
Well, we'll just storm through it then, because you're right. We're just doing cold takes. We're reviewing a show that is for a potential dead promotion that happened a week and a day ago. So
Yeah.
this is a show we would have reviewed last week of hot takes, but now it's like, what am I writing down my thoughts on Ray Horos? It's like, who cares? Might not even see him ever again. I don't know. Let's move on. Ring of Honor World Television Title 4-corner survival match. Rhett Titus wins the title by defeating Dalton Castle, Joe Hendry, and Silas Young.
So happy Joe Hendry came back for this. Good for Rhett Titus, though. Good for Rhett Titus.
Rhett Titus deserved it. I've been watching Ring of Honor television, Scotty, and Rhett Titus he's been great for the past year, 2 years. He's looked great. He's gotten great. I really enjoy it. Not only does him winning the title have like significance for him and the company, and being a company man in this thing forever, but just having him win the title also just made sense. Other than that, though, I hated this match.
I don't remember it.
I thought this match stunk. There was some good stuff in here, but like I felt like, okay, so we had I'll give you some parts that I remember. Dalton Castle just hanging around the ring, just popping the crowd and distracting them from what's happening in the ring. I hated that. It felt like I felt like Dalton Castle was like cucking me. We're like and cucking the crowd to the sense of like, oh yeah, let's watch Dalton Castle. Where like it's I want to go watch this thing and I'm not. I don't know. It was just dumb. I thought Joe Hendry looked like shit. I thought Joe
Hendry. How you really feel?
I don't think Joe Hendry's that good. I think I don't see it. I think maybe he has something and people see something in there. I think people enjoy like the entrance music and stuff, but he barely did anything in this match. His wrestling, he has no facial expressions. The only facial expressions I saw in him were him about to hit Dalton Castle, I think, with the title. And like that was the big thing he did in the match. So I just don't enjoy Joe Hendry, and that is my thoughts on him. And Silas Young is pretty good. Dalton Castle I enjoy, but I felt like I was being cucked. And Rhett Titus is great. So the match was what it was for what I got out of it.
Fair. Just fair. I can't remember a single spot from the match. So that tells you all you need to know.
Ring of Honor pure title match. Josh Woods defeating Brian Johnson by total knockout in roughly 13 minutes by choking him out on top of the turnbuckles.
I didn't know that was allowed.
Well, it was allowed because Brian Johnson used all 3 of his rope breaks.
Yeah, that's right.
So Josh Woods was totally able and within his legal right to do so. This is me as Matt Murdock. He was in his legal right to do so.
Match happened.
You didn't like the match?
I don't think I like watching Josh Woods wrestle.
I also maybe agree. I walked out of this match really disappointed. I thought Josh Woods looked great in like the pure title tournament and on television. And then this is like the second match. It was like this one in the Gresham match when he won the pure title, where you and I both walked away being like, huh, that kind of stunk.
And
I don't think Josh Woods has the crowd connection fully. I don't necessarily think he's got the moves fully. I think maybe in edited TV, maybe he can do it.
Yeah, good news for his career. He got squashed by Sean Spears on Dark. So moving along, baby.
I enjoy Brian Johnson, but at the end of the day, Brian Johnson's still like a prelim guy.
Yeah.
So him in like this big title match, it was like, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah,
Perfectly fine match.
To me, it was a letdown of what could have been a big, pure championship match.
Yeah.
And like very few wrestlers in that promotion, well, I was just say currently, but then at that time are great at pure wrestling anyways. So yeah, it wasn't for me.
I liked the idea of Brian Johnson like doing all the use on the rope breaks and using the rules to cheat. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. We don't have to be nice about it.
Well, no,
Promotion's dead.
I'm saying what I liked about it. I'm saying what I liked about it so that to be fair,
You know what I liked about it when it ended.
Speaking of it ending, let's move on to the next match, which was, of course, Shane Taylor versus Kenny King in a fight without honor match. The crowd was dead up until this match started, and boy, howdy, did this match wake me up. It woke the crowd up. Scotty, did it wake you up?
It did, but not till halfway through.
Ooh. There was a delay. You needed to ramp up into it and get into it.
I needed to, because I got to the point watching this match where I was like, all right, first couple matches stunk. I mean, this could be good, but I don't know how far they're gonna go.
You doubted Kenny King.
I definitely did, and I definitely was almost right. But the match wasn't pretty, and it wasn't supposed to be pretty. Like, I think that was my main takeaway. Is like I saw people saying, "Oh, it was sloppy," and I was like, "Was it though?" Like, I think that was the point of the match, is that these two hate each other and they're trying to crush each other. And I don't get me wrong, it wasn't a perfect match. I didn't give it like this, huge rating or anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the one spot that they did will make a lot of people freak out, which was the package pile driver on the ladder that pretty much slipped out from underneath and pretty much just saw Shane Taylor and Kenny King drop to the floor, and I was stunned. But I will call out Kenny King for his joke of a dive onto Shane Taylor in the ladder. I thought that was horrendous.
I agree.
And honestly, I can see why some people said this match was sloppy, because it was in some points. But when you're willing to do that spot that they did with the package pile driver, I am only going to give you respect. They went to war. Very good job.
Yeah, I think people sometimes forget that, like, I've seen a couple old school plunger matches. I think people forget that, like, when they think of plunger matches, they think of like WWE plunger matches.
Jeff Hardy.
They don't think of a fight without honor, and that is what this match was. Obviously, build and what it was. They delivered on a fight without honor, because the plunder felt like a fight. The sloppiness, like if you've been in a fight, like I obviously have, then it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be planned. It's going to be sloppy. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be things that don't look great. There are, to that point of what you brought about, there were things that were planned that looked a little sloppy, like, the spotter drop, just not being there, one, and then two, letting go too early, so they just like practically fall and break their necks as they're falling off that pile driver through the ladder, which looked insanely rough, but props to them. And then that dive on the top elbow drop thing that Kenny King was doing, where he lands feet first and then basically jumps down, lands, and then falls. I didn't like that. He pulled a
Charlotte.
Yeah.
He pulled a Charlotte.
I didn't like that. But other than that, the plunger was there, the emotion was there, and I thought these guys, I do think the previous matches hurt this match a little bit. But this match ultimately was able to get the crowd back, which is obviously what you want to do.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor Women's World Title match was up next, and was, of course, Roxy versus Willow, where Roxy was able to defeat Willow in 10 minutes and 18 seconds.
So I thought this match started off little sloppy.
Yeah.
They were trying to do some things and they weren't connecting on them, and that's fine. It happens. And then as it got going, I thought it got better. And that's really, again, what you're hoping for. You hope as it gets going, it gets better. They started hitting on all their spots. They're both very good. They're both very young. They're both very good. They're both going to have contracts. with big companies down the line, maybe sooner than we thought for one of them, which is Roxy. If people aren't paying attention, she had a WWE tryout, which is relatively big news, seeing that she's still currently holding the Ring of Honor World Championship and plan a match after this match with someone big. Anyways, but I thought once you got to that final stretch, I thought they put something together that was really enjoyable. I think Roxy has a very bright future. I think Willow also has a very bright future, like I just said. So a good showcase for them. And I always thought when Ring of Honor brought this revamped women's division back, that building around these younger talent that are going to be something, down the line is very smart. And I thought those two, if this is the last Ring of Honor women's match, possibly, or whatever ends up happening, I thought they showed out. I thought they had a very good showing by the end.
Yeah, no, I agree. It started out a little sloppy, but they were able to get it together a little bit at the end. And I think Roxy is, obviously the world ahead of her. And obviously, speaking of things ahead of her, right after the match, Deonna Purrazzo, the Reina de Reyes champion and Impact wrestler, Deonna Purrazzo comes out and she makes a challenge to Roxy where she would like to have a match against Roxy at some point, where they face each other for the Ring of Honor Women's World Title, the Reina de Reyes champion from AAA, and she's somehow challenging a title she doesn't own, maybe the Impact Women's Title if Deonna beats Mickie James at Hard to Kill. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I can also see Impact being like, "Ooh, 3 title belts on one match, maybe."
We'll see if that match ever happens.
We'll see that as well, because also, according to Fightful, WWE released these pictures that Roxy was at a WWE tryout. That doesn't mean she signed with the company. That means she is signing with the company. Obviously, a bunch of people have been through these tryouts before. I believe Alex Price was also there. The Renegade Twins were there. I believe Santino's daughter was there. Santino Marella's daughter was there, who wrestled at, I believe it was NWA recently. So it doesn't mean that she's being signed, but I love the idea of WWE pulling that rug out. And also, she is someone that WWE would 100% hire in a heartbeat at this current moment.
I mean, she's 20 years old and she's very good already.
Trained by Booker T.
Yeah, it's everything's there that makes sense. One thing that I do find interesting is, people were talking about it on Twitter, like, "Oh, why is she going there?" And someone made a great point. They're like, "Listen, if AEW wanted her, they could have had her. Like they had multiple shots. They have not taken their shot." And
I think I remember reading somewhere that they did try to get her, like before Ring of Honor.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But then Ring of Honor was like, "Hey, we got the tournament." And she's like,
"We're gonna give you a damn title.
We're gonna give you the title." Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Which is interesting, and I think she'd fit so well there. I think she'd be someone they could build around long term, which is never a bad thing. AEW, that is. But if she goes to WWE, I'm sure she'll have success too.
Yeah,
I mean, we're watching Cora Jade, who's also 20 years old and like very good friends with Roxy, shining. So it's not like her age is going to stop her.
If anything, I would say Roxy has better wrestling skills than Cora Jade, and just see what Roxy could do.
They're both very new to wrestling. Let's not. I mean, Cora Jade's 3 years in. Roxy's
3 years in as well.
3 years in. I mean, I think Roxy's got the technical stuff down more.
Yeah.
While Cora Jade's a little more of the risk taker, as we saw at War Games. But if she signs there, good for her. Otherwise, the Ring of Honor match that we're talking about was good by the end.
8-man tag team match action here. I believe this was originally a 6-man, and then they started adding people. Violence Unlimited invited New Japan's Rocky Romero into the match. Then Eli Isom and the rest of the foundation invited EC3 into the match.
Yay.
Any thoughts about the match itself before we get to the finish, which is something I'll be saying moving forward with every match?
You mean the certified flashback match? Yeah, it was. I thought it was cool.
I like those flashbacks. I enjoyed.
I thought it was cool. I thought this was a perfect match to do that. I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. Of course, reportedly, Mr. Brody King is signed with AEW now, which is news as well. But I think after what we saw on Winter is Coming, it's not that shocking, of course. But I thought the match was really fun. It did exactly what you wanted it to do, which was they just went in there and did a lot of old Ring of Honor, top stars, finishers and stuff. There was a muscle buster. There was everything.
There's a muscle buster, Pepsi plunge, a turnbuckle top rope brain buster, previously followed by a haluva kick.
Literally everything.
Yeah, it was like any legend under the sun. I believe Tracy Williams did a cattle mutilation.
Yep. They got everything in there.
They got everything in there, and it was a good callback to Ring of Honor's history, and I enjoyed that. I definitely enjoyed that.
All right, let's talk about post match.
So post match, EC3 grabs the microphone and he says something along the lines of, he's like, Eli, you got everything. He's ignoring Taylor Russ and Tracy Williams, who've already left. Eli Isom, you got something here, kid. You got to shed the foundation and change your narrative. And then he calls out some other people, and then Dak Draper and Brian Johnson comes out, and EC3 is saying that they're corporate wrestlers and that they need to be their own person. And then we see Wesley Blake and a guy show up, and then we're like, oh, what's going to happen? And then EC3 says, release the Titan. And then suddenly, which was a big surprise, a weird surprise, but a big surprise nonetheless, the Titan Adam Scherr, formerly known as Braun Strowman, comes out of nowhere. Rec Shop stands tall with a Change Your Narrative t-shirt. And then they basically take out and abduct Eli Isom, Brian Johnson, and Dak Draper, I believe, after it. I don't quite know. But what is your take on this entire affair that we were having?
EC3 got released twice. I think the Control Your Narrative stuff is absolute shit. I think he is... I don't want to say he's wasted his career by just doing this stuff. And, you can do whatever you want. You can believe in whatever you want. But I think it's very much not at all interesting. I'm trying to say it as nice as I can, but there's not a really nice way to say it. I just don't think it's very good. I don't think it's very entertaining from a fan perspective. I mean, yeah, cool that Braun Strowman's here, but why are we debuting this group that the only chance that these people like each other is if you watched EC3 shitty specials on Fight TV? Like, no one watched those. So whatever. I don't care. It's stupid. I was just rolling my eyes the entire time. Like, if you're going to do whatever, EC3 didn't fit the Ring of Honor mold. Like, we can agree to that. I always thought him going back to Impact made sense, and he did that weird ass match with Moose and then left. Like, I understand, like, he wants to make this like a movie thing, or that's what wrestling he wants. I really don't understand what he wants. I don't really care.
It feels like he is continuing on doing the cinematic wrestling style.
Yeah, no one wants that. We barely wanted it when it happened, and we got used to it because there were no fans. Guess what, EC3? There's fans now, and I don't care. I don't care. Good for Braun, though.
Good for Braun to be a part of this weird promotion and whatever the hell is happening. with it. I don't know if you saw. God, I'm at their website. On the website,
They have their own website.
freethenarrative.com. There's a section titled Essential Talent. I'll read you not their roster. We're dying. Not their essential roster, but their essential talent. We have the essential character EC3, right? World champ.
Oh no.
Oh my God, Scotty, we are doing this from now on. Hold on. Essential character EC3, world champion wrestler, conditioning of a puma, violent nihilist, hashtag psycho boy, formerly the top 1%, now the chosen deity of the narrative.
We don't have time for this. We're
No. I have to go through the rest of this roster here real quick. We have then the narrator. We have, this appears to be the second guy that showed up, the fodder, aka Merton Woolard. We have the cinematographer, Manny. We have the composer. Are these just people? We have the good hand, John Schuyler. We have the wrestling prodigy, Jake Logan. I don't even know who that is. The Savage William, which is Dutch. You have the Bear Pero. Do all of these people have names? The Wrestling God Moose. The Vision Matt Seidel. And now we have the Titan, Adam Scherr. Karrion Kross is coming in. Probably it's going to be the Killer Cross.
Absolute dog shit.
I love hashtag Psycho Boy. I cannot believe that is a phrase that they are using as.
I hope that you watch their next special. I'll tell you what, I'm not
going to. Look, man, all I know is that whatever the next special is going to be, Adam Scherr is going to be there. Karrion Kross is going to be there. Eli Isom, Brian Johnson, and Dak Draper all going to be there.
The absolute superstars of the mat.
The fodder. He'll be there. Maybe we'll get the good hand. Who knows? The Savage, maybe. The Bear.
Are you done?
The Bear.
This is like me talking about NWA, except I don't care enough to give my thoughts anymore. I just
Gentleman Jervis. Unmasked.
Hey. Here's an idea. Let's move on.
Moving on. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Title Match. The Briscoes, Jay and Mark Briscoe, defeating the team of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett in what is a Countout Year-End Award nominated match for Matt.
Hi, Ryan Knightsey. That was just a guess, but I'm on the same wavelength that this match was phenomenal. And no, that is not an AJ Styles pun. I know he was in Ring of Honor, but that is not an AJ Styles pun. I thought this match was fantastic. If there was anyone that was going to go all out on their last night, I thought for sure it'd be these four guys, and they did it. They absolutely did it. When Bennett has, I think it was Mark Briscoe on his shoulders, and Taven does the dive over the top, no ropes, anything, clears him out with the clothesline. Just one of the best spots of the year.
Onto the floor.
Yeah, let alone on the show. It was one of the best spots of the year in wrestling. It's one of those spots you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This match was mwah.
This match was amazing. I love this match so much. It was so good. Like you said, that Doomsday device onto the floor was outstanding.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of the word because
the Briscoes and just the connection that these four guys have were so great. I talk about it like when we preview the show that like I feel like there's going to be people putting it their all into the match, especially people that like these four guys might be the ones cut if they don't come back. They left it. They left everything. They left Ring of Honor in that ring. They left they unloaded the chambers, as it were. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are just an outstanding tag team. I'm back.
Very good together.
I'm back in the Matt Taven train when it comes to tag team wrestling. I'll put the asterisk there. But back in the tag team division, the Briscoes are just
tag
great.
Team wrestler.
He's a really great. Matt Taven's a really great tag team wrestler. I like Mike Bennett being the guy that like is the crazy guy in the group. It's like, oh, we're gonna do a doomsday device on the thing, and Matt Taven's like, shit, okay, and then he just goes and dives. The Briscoes are just so good in this match. The Briscoes just again have that sort of that energy. Obviously, while 1.2 million of their children were watching, with more on the way.
That's gross.
What, man? He has a lot of kids. What can I say? It was just so good. This match was so good. Oh man,
it got me excited to see the Briscoes elsewhere.
Yeah,
which I think was needed in this match, like for them, because I think a lot of people. There's a good chance a lot more people check this show out than any Ring of Honor show since at least the pandemic started. At least. And I think the Briscoes remind the world that, you know, any given day they can be one of the best tag teams in the world. And I just thought this was an absolute home run by all four involved. And yeah, I thought good way to go out for all four of them, which I think I think I could see OGK go back if depending how Ring of Honor goes. But I think we all know the Briscoes will not be.
After the match, lights go out and lights come back on. Who's in the ring? It's FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, who I pointed out on Twitter, even, you know, despite never being in the promotion, them as a tag team have roots in Ring of Honor, going back to their name, FTR, Fuck the Revival, which I was super angry at the crowd for not doing a Fuck the Revival chant. What are we doing, folks?
Far now.
We'll see it down the line, maybe.
Not in Ring of Honor.
Not in Ring of Honor. Yeah, no. So they all brawled. This match was like this interaction was built up online on social media and blew up here. So great job, great use of social media there, and great job having a really good brawl as well. And now we get to see where they're going. The idea would obviously be AEW. But I guess it could be anywhere. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it's GCW. I don't know. Who the hell knows?
It'll be AEW.
It'll be AEW. If I was AEW, I'd bring the Briscoes in. I think the Briscoes still
have the division.
As we saw with this match, they can still go. Obviously, the Briscoes, Young Bucks. Obviously, the Briscoes. Well, not SCU doesn't exist anymore, but I think the Briscoes FTR could be good.
I just forgot every tag team that they have in AEW.
The Briscoes, Varsity Blondes. The Briscoes.
Please stop saying Varsity Blondes.
The Acclaimed.
No, time out.
What man?
On the Varsity Blondes.
What?
I've had enough here about the Varsity Blondes.
Brian Pillman Jr. How dare you cancel culture?
No. We're not talking about Varsity Blondes. You know what we will talk about? Talk about the Lucha Brothers or Santana Ortiz. You know, let's talk about the elite teams, please. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus even. There's so many teams you could have named before the Varsity Blondes.
Yeah, but all the other teams are JV, and the Varsity Blondes are varsity. So, you know, they got the jackets. They got the jackets.
What are you talking about? The Young Bucks are the elite.
But they're not varsity, man. They're not varsity. And varsity is obviously
they're past varsity. They're out of high school.
Speaking about being past things, Jay Lethal returns to Ring of Honor despite not wanting to come back to face Jonathan Gresham for the Ring of Honor vacant Ring of Honor old school world title match. Of course, they made this a world title match. I think that made sense, and they unveiled the old original title, and they fought for that. Coming off of the tag team match, I didn't think this match was as good. I thought it was pretty good.
I was at a high at that point.
Yeah, I was at a high. They peaked at the semi-main, so then you had the main come down, and it was not as good.
Very good in-ring work, as you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
I My favorite touch was when they had the entire locker room go down to ringside, cheering them on, because this was an idea that, this could be it. And I thought it fit. I just thought it fit very well because, listen, the crowd at that point in the show wasn't great. Like, they got amped up for the tag match. They got amped up for FTR, but you wanted it as loud as possible. Mixing the crowd with the wrestlers at ringside for the eventual major moment that was Jonathan Gresham winning the ROH World Championship. Hell yeah. That was a perfect moment. Mm-hmm. And I'm just happy that they were able to get that moment still.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty good match. I'm glad they ended with Gresham on top. Jay Lethal walking out definitely looked like he didn't want to be there, which I thought was hilarious. But obviously, I think and in the having everyone there was a great moment. Having Jordan and Baron in there as well, sending him off. But the post match promo, Scotty, was also very interesting. Where
maybe more interesting than the entire show.
It was like, wait, what? So Jonathan Gresham, thanks to everybody. Wishes well to Bandito, who's obviously could not make the show because of COVID. Excuse me. Thanks Jay Lethal as well. He puts out a challenge to former Ring of Honor members or former Ring of Honor champions, which he confirms that those two men he was challenging were Bryan Danielson and CM Punk. So he puts out a challenge to them. He says that he's going to purify this title and he's only going to defend this title at pure title matches, which he has. He has already defended the title twice against AJ Gray and GCW and Adam Priest and New South Wrestling. So he's already defended the title twice, and both of those are pure title matches. But he also kind of turned heel on the company, which I thought was weird. Quote, for so many years, I believed in this company. Blindly, I believed that this company cared, but it wasn't until a global pandemic hit that I realized that they do not. I realized that they were forced to use us for pure technical wrestling. I realized they did not care about honor. So as long as I am champion, I will not allow this company to get back on its feet and abandon us again. I will not allow it. I'll take the heart and soul of this company, in the essence of the company. I'll take it with me to Terminus, and Terminus to pure professional wrestling. So basically, in his post-match promo, he wishes people. He puts out challenges to CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, and then kind of buries Ring of Honor and puts over his new promotion in Terminus. So I'm like, whoa, Jonathan Gresham. This man, we're going for the jugular, I feel like here. What are you talking about?
I think it's fair. Well, think about it. They just had to release their entire roster.
Yeah.
And they're having this show where they're trying to make money, which is fine. That's how that's how this works. But Jonathan Gresham is almost as loyal as they come when it comes to Ring of Honor nowadays. It's them. It's pretty much him, the Briscoes.
Jay Lethal.
Watch Jay Lethal leave. No, we watched Jay Lethal leave before even the last show. Jonathan Gresham stayed quiet. Jonathan Gresham dealt with it, and he got the Ring of Honor World title. Now, they gave him the world title, and he is defending it, so they have no other choice. But I don't think it's Ring of Honor he's attacking. I think he respects and loves everyone at Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. I think it's the company that owns Ring of Honor that he might be disrespecting. And that is, of course, Sinclair. And I think that is probably what he was aiming at, because there's no chance he's attacking Joe Koff and, Kerry Silkin and everyone that's ever been a part of Ring of Honor. No, I think it's more directed at Sinclair than Ring of Honor itself.
That is very interesting. I think I agree with that. I would not be surprised that why would Jonathan Gresham yell about Ring of Honor? He is more than likely yelling at the thing that is killing what he likes, what he loves.
Yeah.
and killing that is holding the knife. It is Sinclair.
If he could have, he would have been Ring of Honor for life.
I totally agree with that. I think that's a great point. I think that's a really great point, Scotty. Like I agree. I think that's what he's talking about. And he's like, and I think in that same vein, he's putting the blame on Sinclair and then saying, I don't know what's happening with Ring of Honor, but I'm going to continue it. I'm going to make sure that it's happening. If Sinclair doesn't want it to continue, then I am going to make sure by holding this belt, starting a new promotion in Terminus, which I can't wait to preview that show. They're already having good cards, by the way.
Man, Ryan, we're gonna be so busy.
Yeah, baby. But yeah, overall, I think this is a pretty good show.
Yeah.
They ended the entire night with a graphic saying "See ya in April," where they come back WrestleMania weekend. What form that is, who knows? They are also already, they're still doing television shows. I think they had one or two more following this pay-per-view, which is weird.
Very weird.
But I think those might also have an indication of where they are headed. They did a top prospect special with Rayo, Joe Keys, Eric Martin, Adrian Serrano. Who the hell are these people? Dak Draper versus Josh Woods, Dante Cabarello versus Matt Mikowski. They're bringing in indie people, and they have a bunch of their like dojo people who are like lower on the totem pole. So I think that is in a way kind of what we're looking towards. And then on the next tape match, they have. Wait, I'm sorry. What is this? They have a 12-man tag team match, which has Josh Woods and Brian Johnson on either side, and then there's a bunch of question marks. But then they also have a Ring of Honor World Women's Title match on this thing. Roxy versus Holodead. Interesting. Do we get a title change? I don't know. But Ring of Honor, whether or not you're coming back, who the hell knows? I don't know if Ring of Honor is coming back, but what I do know is that winter is coming. AEW Dynamite had their Winter is Coming show this past Wednesday as well.
We gotta fit a lot into this hour. Oh boy.
And speaking about fitting a lot in the hour, they kicked off the show with the AEW World Title match, Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson. I don't think we have a lot of hot topics about any of the other matches.
No.
I don't know if you do. I thought Wardlow Seidel was a swash. Sheeta versus Deeb was not as good as the previous matches, but still fairly decent. And MJF Dante Martin was pretty good. It
was just, no, I have complaints about that, but I don't really care enough to talk about them.
But the big talking point is Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson. They went to a 60-minute draw, folks. 60-minute draw with Adam Page ending it with a buckshot lariat. Bryan, and then as soon as he hits it, the bell rings. Match is over. Bryan Danielson, Page is crawling. Danielson's rolling out. So maybe he would have gotten the cover. Who knows? But what do you think? What do you think of this 60-minute match? And do keep in mind that according to X-Pac, if we do not like this match, then we are going to be shat on, and we are no longer reviewers of wrestling. So keep that in mind.
Okay, well, I liked the match. Good news. There's good news there. Appreciate that, though. X-Pac, you're never mind. I thought the match was really well done. I mean, commercial breaks suck. It's hard to watch any match with commercial breaks, let alone a world title match that goes 60 minutes. And we had four commercial breaks because, of course, it took up the first hour of the show. And I still think they were so good that it almost didn't matter. Now, if I watch this match on a pay-per-view, do I give it a better rating because there's no commercials and, they don't have to spend the 2 minutes of a commercial pretty much doing jumping jacks with Bryan Danielson and one person, getting his blood cleaned up because he bladed too poorly? I don't know. But I thought it was a great match. Bryan Danielson has yet to miss in AEW. And this is one of the best showings Hangman Page has ever had in his career. When they decided to go 60 minutes, I thought in my head, after match, I was like, I didn't know Hangman Page could do that. Because Tony Schiavone had a great point. How many matches has Hangman Page had that went 30 minutes, let alone 60? Not many. So great job by both of them. I love the move of going the 60-minute draw. Now, do I think they should have just did a TV time remaining draw instead? Maybe. Yeah, that's what I pitched originally, and I thought that would have worked better. But 60-minute draws, 60-minute matches are hard to put together. And it didn't feel like they had a ton of filler as much as other 60-minute matches I see, which is a win. It definitely had filler because 60 minutes, come on now. But it wasn't like embarrassingly bad where they were just laying on the mat the whole time. Like, I hate when they do that. So really good. And I thought the ending was perfect.
Yeah, I'm going to get canceled by Sean Waltman.
Wow.
I thought it was really, really good.
That's fair.
I didn't think it was great. I went you're going to hate me.
Probably not going to hate you.
I went 3.75.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna cancel on Twitter. Sean Waltman, he's coming for me.
There's this thing that I like to say that wrestling is subjective, and people see it all this different ways. No, you shouldn't be canceling a reviewer if you didn't think it was the greatest match of all time. I didn't think it was the greatest match of all time.
Are you talking about the ethos of what countout wrestling is?
Like, you literally said in the chat about, like, if you want to add a match, and I was like, I don't. I'm not worried at all.
And no one did.
Yeah,
no one in countout did.
It
and
draws can be great.
Yeah,
draws can be great. My highest rated match of the year is a draw. But
yes, it is. And I thought that match was great too.
Yeah, that's to me a greater match, because the problem with 60 minutes and TV is you got to force it there.
And also it being first.
Yeah.
It being first gives more away than it being last.
And now they have to have another one.
Well, here's my thing. I thought this match was really great, or really, really good.
It'll be better, probably.
I think the second one's going to be even better. Because
30 minutes.
The story of this match was a lot of Bryan Danielson playing with his food. So I think now that they went to the time limit draw, I think, assuming the rematch is happening at Battle for the Belts, I think Bryan Danielson's like not going to play with his food, and they're going to go for it. The problem I have with it is the fact that I thought I would have loved a draw in the main event. I would have preferred that, because I think this 60-minute draw doesn't make any sense.
I also think it kills the rest of the show, which it did. I thought
it did.
You can't.
Let me say this real quick. I'm glad you brought up the thing of I didn't know Adam Page can go 60 minutes, and that's my issue with it. Is why should he go 60 minutes? What proof do I have that Adam Page is going 60 minutes? I mean, this is the evidence that he can go the distance. Like, he went 25 against Omega. Well, Danielson went 20, right? But we're talking, after like 20 minutes in, like bleeding like a stuffed pig, and he goes full 60, the longest match in his career, and draws it. Like, the idea is there. I get the idea. I get the story. I get the idea that he is being resilient. That is what Adam Page, the character Adam Page, has always been. He has been nothing more than resilient to a lot of things. But also, I would argue that he's not resilient. I would argue that the character is actually not resilient. The character gave up quite a bit. Gave up constantly on things, quite a bit. So I don't necessarily see him as a resilient character.
Yeah.
So I don't see him as being a 60-minute time limit drawing guy against Bryan Danielson, a guy that can go 20 minutes of Omega. I don't know. I think 30 minutes would have been great. I don't think this match necessarily helps Page. either. I think if anything, this match was designed to defend Danielson from not getting a loss. But if anyone needed a loss and if anyone needed to win here, it was Page. This is his first title match. And on top of that, this is just my own personal subjective opinion. I don't quite like stories like this or champions like this, and I'll compare this. I've seen people comparing Adam Page to Okada, and I think that's dead wrong, and I don't understand why people say that.
Because he had a draw.
because he got a draw, I guess. Sure, he's Naito. He's Tetsuya Naito. 100% Tetsuya Naito. Because Okada,
who's evil?
Evil, is give me 1 minute. Evil.
MJF, got it.
Evil's
right, cool.
well, yeah, probably. He's probably MJF. Anyways, so I think Adam Page is 100% Tetsuya Naito, and I don't understand why people are comparing him to Okada. Tetsuya, and even then, Tetsuya Naito has never had I don't believe he's ever had a 60-minute draw. I looked into his Wrestle Kingdom matches, his G1 matches. Obviously not really happening in the G1, but obviously in the finals, you need a winner. But even then, he went like max 40. Okada, max 35, 40. He never went 60. I just don't understand it. I personally, I don't like the thing, because I think that seeing someone like bleed out like 10 minutes, 20 minutes into the match and then going for another 40 doesn't make sense to me personally. I like the idea. I like the Naito thing. I like the Page idea of like getting beaten down to the point of like, and then almost kind of squeaking one out a little bit. Not squeaking out, but like finding the one move to finally hit your move out of nowhere. I like that idea. I like that as a champion. But it feels weird to me when you do that for 60 minutes. And it just feels that if they did a 30-minute time limit draw end of the show thing, I would have liked that more personally. Or I would have preferred more Adam Page winning. But I just didn't understand why we had to do it here. And I wasn't on board with it. So sorry, Dave. I don't disagree with your 5-star matches. Your 60-minute classics.
It wasn't just Dave, actually. I saw a lot of people give 5. Yeah. One, I liked the Danielson Omega match more. 2,
me too.
And I think a lot of people should have, at least. I like to say time doesn't mean better.
Yeah.
Like, that's never been, and as someone that watches a lot of wrestling, I watch pretty much everything at least a little bit, and the best matches I've seen this year my highest match of the year was 43 minutes draw, but it was a 30-minute time limit originally. The Young Bucks Lucha Bros match, for example, was a just car crash, 25-minute tops endeavor. Walter versus Ilya Dragunov is just 20 minutes of beating the snot out of each other. Like, I'm just naming like I'm going pretty much off the list that we just had that people can of course vote on later on if they want to. Is that all these matches, they didn't have these long times to be great. What they had was just greatness in the condensed version. And I'm not saying the 60 minutes was, well, I kind of am. I thought the time limit draw would have made sense if you're doing TV time remaining. You started at say you started the match at 9:20. They go even, well, give or take. Like, they start the entrances and whatnot, get to the ring, 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, they start wrestling around 9:30-ish.
And I think you make a great point. Why can Hangman Page go 60 minutes? I've never seen him go 30 minutes.
His longest match in the company, I believe, is 25 against Omega.
Yeah, I don't know how long the Young Bucks versus Page and Hangman was, but
I
that
can look
probably was around there.
I can look into it.
But either way, I thought the match was good. I think Danielson's great. I think Hangman he's going to need to get the big win versus Danielson. I think that has to be the takeaway here. I don't want them to blow this off and not go back to it. They need to go back to it, and they need to give Hangman that win. But that's my thoughts on that. We did have a break set for today, but that's not happening.
We can do a break if you like.
No, I have to, go to work. So
what time you to leave?
I have to leave at 12.
Okay, so we'll keep it moving.
I have to get ready and whatnot. So
we'll keep it moving and grooving. The Revolution tag match was 30 minutes. That would have been his longest match, I believe.
And that's different because he doesn't do all the work.
Yeah, it's a tag team match. His Omega match was 25. So yeah, there's no evidence suggesting that this man can go 60 minutes. I think the story was supposed to be that Adam Page is resilient. But I disagree on that premise, and I think his character isn't resilient. I don't think this character is resilient. This character has given up quite a bit. This character, if anything, is on the comeback. So I disagree on that premise, sir.
But I understand why a lot of people liked it. I think there was a lot of good parts to the match.
Yeah. And I do think there is an element of that. Oh, they went 60 as like a grand, like holy crap thing.
Yeah.
But I think
people have that.
My big point is it doesn't make sense why Adam Page is doing that, and also, why why do that when you could have just done the other thing and have the same result,
right.
And it be a more concise match.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's winter's coming, folks. Nothing else big out of that show.
Winter is gone.
Winter's coming. It is gone. Nothing big really out of the show. They are teasing. Adam Cole is teasing a gift. People think it might be Kyle O'Reilly.
And then Brody King was also teased in the House of Black.
Well, a king was teased, so it could be.
Okay, well, his last name's King.
But so is Kenny King. King.
Okay, if Kenny ING King joins the House of Black, then I will give you $20 on the show. I will Venmo you on the show live.
And if Brody King's there, we'll move on to the next show, which was New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of Super Juniors World Tag League Finals.
Ryan.
Yes.
He's back.
Who? Dick Togo?
Mr. Katsuyori Shibata. Is back.
Yeah. I was gonna get to that.
No. We have to start off with it. It's the best.
Okay, can we do it again? Because I was not ready for the surprise.
Yeah.
I was not ready. So
Ryan,
take two. Yes.
He's back.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Here we go. Wave the flag towel.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, he is waving the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata towel on the video because he is a Shibata fan. We're all Shibata fans. He is now from England. Okay. Now he's Suzuki. Okay, just pick a side. Or Samoa Joe. Either one. All right. Anyways, so yes, Katsuyori Shibata on the show announced that January 4th.
Yes.
He will have a match, and of course, the Wrestle Kingdom card has been released since then, and we do not know who his opponent is, but he does have a match. He has a match. It's not going to be a grappling exhibition. It is a pro wrestling match, and instantly, I got two options for you. I think it really depends on someone's health. I think Kota Ibushi and Minoru Suzuki. I think those are the two obvious choices based off the rest of the card. And I don't think this is a bad option.
Not only based off the rest of the card, but based off of news as well. Being reported that Kota Ibushi was supposed to be at the finals here, but he wasn't quite there yet in terms of health, so they kept him off. So I think seeing the WrestleMania card, the only slot...
Wrestle Kingdom, this is not WrestleMania.
What did I say, WrestleMania? Seeing the seeing the Wrestle Kingdom card, the only spot to have a Kota Ibushi match is that vacant slot against Shibata, unless he shows up in the Rambo, which I doubt. But in that same vein, if Ibushi can't make it, I wouldn't be surprised if it is Suzuki as the backup. That would be kind of disappointing. I would rather see Ibushi, obviously, but you can't go wrong with a Suzuki versus Shibata match either.
No, it's a win-win, honestly.
It is a win-win. It is a
well, win-win. It's a win-win because Shibata's wrestling, but
yes, have they had a singles match, Shibata and Ibushi?
I'm not sure.
I'll do some research.
They might have had one, but definitely not in Ibushi's best form.
Yeah,
probably not.
I'll do the research.
You're on Cage Match, so
I'll
get to World Tag League. You let me know. So World Tag League Finals, House of Torture. Gotta do it. Yeah, House of Torture, Evil and Yujiro Takahashi faced off with the Chaos team of Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, and in the end, the team of Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi walked out with the win. I thought that was a pleasant surprise because Goto's great. Yoshihashi's been putting in the work this year, and I think them versus Dangerous Tekkers at Wrestle Kingdom will be a very good match. Talk about four guys that have really put in the work during this year in tag team wrestling, especially. I think those are very belonging. I thought the match, they executed it well. You have the House of Torture shit that people get annoyed by. I don't really get annoyed by it. I'm used to it. Listen, you grow up watching WWE, you're used to this stuff. But they had the cool moment of Ishii running down and saving them and absolutely cleaning out House of Torture, helping them win in the end. I thought, it got the point across, and it's a World Tag League final. It wasn't going to be, match of the year unless Sonata and Naito were in there against Dangerous Tekkers. Like that. Or Goto and Yoshihashi.
It would have been Goto Yoshihashi, I guess. It was okay.
It was fine.
It's okay.
It was fine.
I'm not super into the House of Torture stuff. And I realized during this match,
is it a pro evil podcast?
It's a pro evil, but anti House of Torture.
How dare you?
I realized what about the House of Torture gimmick that annoys me, right? For everybody, it's the heel heat. But for me, it is the amount of it that happens in one match. It's like constantly and consistently, all they do is Western heel heat, distract the referee, garrote wire, kick him in the legs or kick him in the nuts or whatever. And they do thing after thing after thing of just more and more heat. And there was parts in this match where it was just like, there was just a point where like Evil's just like, oh, ref, go over there. It felt staged. Doing the heat spots felt staged. And that was what was frustrating about this match for me. I just want to see some guys wrestle. But in fact, I'm seeing staged complaining. And then staged garrote.
Yeah, I just think it's funny how dumb the baby faces continuously are.
Oh yeah. And I think that's also ultimately what happens. Is just everyone looks dumb coming out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Evil's very good. Like as a wrestler, he's very good.
I say pretty.
We haven't
good.
seen that in a long time. Well, I think he's probably gotten to like the form where he could have great matches because he's gotten used to being a singles wrestler, but we just never have seen them.
Yeah.
So it's tough because the last time we saw him not in this super heel role, it feels like a long time. As a singles wrestler, we've never seen him on his own as a singles wrestler, like full time as a normal wrestler,
as a normal man.
Yeah, we've never seen that, and I think he'd be really good. And I think if he just started having hoss battles, in the Never division, no one would complain. He'll probably love it because that's like, having battles with Ishii, who he is wrestling at the Wrestle Kingdom
for the Never Openweight title.
Yeah, it's almost like I made that point for a reason.
Yeah, no, I agree. I understand that the heat, that's why the heat is there. It's like, oh, these guys can go. Why don't they just wrestle like normal people? And I understand that that's part of the heat, but like, I don't know. It's the adage of, when it comes to just wrestling in general. We took, in a way, in a very loose way, we talked about the Paige Danielson match, but I'm realizing this about myself, that it is about, the wrestling I like is about quality, not quantity. Doing 60-minute matches versus just having a very good, concise 30-minute match.
Quality for me.
Yeah. I would have gone that way. The amount of heat moves make the heat spots less important, because it's like you're just doing it after one after another after another after another. Yeah. If you just did like 2, fine. If you did like 10, like you did.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
think the House of Torture complaints are very fair. Yeah. I think, like, I'm never gonna like say, oh, someone's wrong about that. I mean, they can get very annoying, very tiresome. Yeah, and it is what it is. But I would like to talk about the main event, which of course was the Best of the Super Juniors final, where Hiromu Takahashi defeated Yo. You take out the show part. You take out the show part of this match. I loved this match.
You got to take out a lot of the show part.
Well, because the show part was just so oddly placed in. I was able to just kind of avoid it because I'm used to just avoiding these stupid things by now and not letting it ruin something for me. Because Hiromu and Yo, they're very good. I think it's very known that Hiromu's great. Like, he's been the ace for
forever,
forever, pretty much. And this was a big, coming out party for Yo, who I think is also I think he had, he'll be junior heavyweight champion. I think he has that potential. I think he's figuring it out still. Like, he's figuring out who he is as a singles wrestler. But that's the story they're telling.
Yeah.
I think I watch every Yo match in the Best of Super Juniors purposely because there was a story being told. He lost his first 4. Then he got hot. He got a win out of nowhere, and then they just, they piled on, and ultimately he somehow got to the finals by beating Show. And I thought Kevin Kelly actually did a really great job telling that story along the way, so credit to him. And now he's facing the guy, in Hiromu, the guy that he lost to in less than 4 minutes to kick off the tournament. And he had probably the best single showing of his career in this match. Not probably, he definitely did. I'm not gonna. He definitely did. I don't know how many Yo singles matches I can think of off the top of my head besides the ones I've seen this year. And I think this is probably his best. And Hiromu, man, he's just so good.
Yeah, I totally agree that, like, if you take out the show part, it's, it's really good match. Yo definitely stepped up. Yo definitely stepped up. I think he did a good enough job. His chest just getting lit up. Jesus Christ.
I would love to see Hiromu with the heavyweights.
Yeah, I feel like eventually, but also I have a feeling he's never gonna pop up there.
He'll get Kushida'd.
I think he's gonna be Kushida or Ligered in a way.
Yeah,
which I
Liger got in a G1 though.
That's true. He did pop up in the G1 once or twice. No, 3 times. I think he popped up 3 times.
Just give me that.
Yeah, so I can see Hiromu doing that eventually, but if they didn't do it the past 2 years, I don't know exactly when they'll do it. To be fair,
he was a little banged up.
He's been a little banged up recently. But the show part was in the match.
Yeah,
despite all that, the show part was in the match, and that part, screeching halt of the entire match.
Oh,
just dead air.
You hear a pin drop.
Yeah, just silence. Nothing from the crowd, just silence. He's telling everybody, go home, leave, it's over, and no one's doing anything, just dead quiet.
And we know, based off the Voices of Wrestling report, that Hiromu was not very happy about that spot that Dick Togo pinned pitch to Goto, which of course went through. And I mean, am I shocked Hiromu didn't like it? No.
It wasn't good. It didn't work.
It wasn't. It didn't. I mean, it did make sense because like Sho doesn't want to beat Yo, but then Kevin Kelly had the line of the fucking night when he goes, "If you wanted Yo to lose, you're an idiot because you just dropped Hiromu on his head." And I was like,
"Yeah,
there you go." It just was so stupid because it was him hitting Hiromu essentially made it mean nothing.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing for me. Like, it was just to put Sho in the center for 2 seconds just for them to continue the match.
Yeah.
You take that part out, it's a great match start to finish. End of story. Bye-bye. See you later. Great Best of the Super Junior Finals. You know, Yo has this shining performance. I still think that should be the main takeaway is that Yo stepped up. And Hiromu, of course, won. And the celebration after with Naito and Shingo posing with the trophy without Hiromu was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, what a trio, right? What a trio.
6-man tag.
That's not even including Sonata and Bushi's there too. But I liked the match a ton. Mm-hmm. I just really wish that Sho thing did not happen.
Yeah, it brought it down so much. Brought the match down so much. It was such a disappointment.
It was hard. It's understandably hard to get back.
Yeah,
into it for those that did or watched it, and like I can understand. I am just so accustomed to this stupid shit by now that from other companies, so I'm numb almost to it.
I get you. I mean, sucks. Shit sucks, man.
And the way I look at the match is what actually, like, it's almost like the match paused.
Yeah.
And like I paused it and walked away and then just came back and I was like, oh, this was great. Just trying to forget about that part because it was just like an intermission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
It's so bad.
It's so stupid.
I don't know why we're doing all this nonsense. New Japan. Just do good wrestling. Why avoid having good wrestling? That's like that. Like I it's such this old school mentality that people would like to buy tickets to see heat and not buy tickets to see good wrestling.
Yeah. If it would have been better, the heat was stupid either way, but it would have been better if like Sho screwed Yo, end the story, but like it didn't end up playing a part at all. So it just was so useless. It was just to get Sho out there.
Yeah. And then cut a weird ass promo.
Oh, it was terrible. The promo was awful.
So bad. But that's
moving on.
That's the finals. We move on to Wrestle Kingdom, of course. It's going to be happening at some point soon. That's not some point soon. We know exactly what's happening. January 4th and 5th. I do a lot of
previewing it, will we?
We'll be doing that bonus show that we talked about.
Oh yeah, we will be.
We'll be able to that show will be a review of Stardom Wrestle Kingdom and a preview of Wrestle Kingdom, going from Queens to Kings, and maybe something else. Oh, maybe previewing Day 1, WWE Day 1.
Yeah, I just saw they announced Madcap Moss versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So I'm so happy that you get to see that live and in person.
I think that might be the first. I have to look at the card, but that might be the first worst bad match on the card.
It is. Yeah, you don't have to look. I can guarantee you it is.
I'm still looking up because I want to see.
I barely watch and follow enough, but I know for a fact it is the worst match on the card. I said Madcap Moss. It can't get worse.
Cat Moss, baby. Barely a pre-show. Let's move on to Stardom. Osaka Super Wars. Speed
through my emotional fits here.
Yes.
Great. Awesome.
Stardom held a show, obviously, yesterday. 1,200 in attendance. Little less than Final Battle, just to give it perspective. An argument for the minor promotion battle that we had. Stardom Osaka Zipiba. Stardom.
Different, way different though.
I know.
To be fair, because Japan has the limits still, and Japanese fans, a lot more like worried than American fans who just kind of show up in an entire,
and make fake vaccine cards to get through the door.
Yeah.
Stardom Osaka Super Wars, of course, took place. It was a 5 match card, with one of those matches being on the pre-show. Scotty was not able to watch this show, but you were.
Oh, I sure was. Watched it live because I do that.
I very intrigued about watching this because this show, I wasn't.
Did you see any clips?
I saw that one clip with Mayu.
Yeah, she's insane.
She's insane. I love.
She literally just posted a tweet like an hour before we started the show that said, "I was terrified of the ladder match," and then someone's like, "She jumped off a ladder 10 minutes later."
Yeah.
A ladder that wasn't set up.
No,
that's the scariest part.
Yeah, I don't understand.
She jumped from. Okay, so.
We'll save it. We'll save it when we get to the thing. Well, let's quickly.
I just have two things I have to talk about. Really, I don't really care about the rest of the card.
Okay, well, we'll blow through this. Do you have any thoughts on the pre-show 3-on-1 handicap gauntlet match between Shuri defeating Lady C, Mai Sakurai, and Waka Tsukiyama?
Do you remember how they had the masked people showing up?
Yes, following it.
There's two.
There's now two of them. I don't like. I hate those faces. I hate those mask faces.
Oh, the Momo masks. They're terrifying.
I hate that shit. I hate it so much.
Absolutely terrifying. But there's two now.
I hate creepypasta bullshit. Get it out of me.
Yeah.
There's two now.
Two. The match itself, it went exactly how it should. Shuri destroyed 3 people in like less than 10 minutes.
Yep. But yeah, now there's 2. I guess that's the big development. Do you have any idea? Do I know who they are? Does the Joshi world have any idea who they could be?
Yeah. But where the story's going, no clue.
Fair enough.
No idea. I mean, it makes sense if it's connected to Momo, but we don't know.
Maybe. I guess maybe. Good point, actually. Moving on, there was also the tournament, the 10 million unit tournament. First round match.
The 10 million yen tournament that Mayu created and then proceeded to call it the 1,000 yen tournament.
Yes. She does not know math well. But of course, in this first match, the Artists of Stardom titles were also on the line because the champions put them on the line. Himeka Maika and Natsupoi defended and won their titles successfully against Team Marvelous, Maria Rin Kanekura, and Takumi Aroha. So thoughts on this match, Scotty?
Best first round match, or semifinals, whatever you want to call them. I thought it was the better of the two. Mm-hmm. I am a little shocked the way this show ended up going, but I guess it was to culminate a certain little story that they had going. But very good. Takumi worked really well with Himeka and Maika. I don't even know if she was in the ring with Natsupoi, besides like just kind of like wrecking her, because Natsupoi takes she takes a lot of the offense. Mm-hmm. The power bomb to win the match by Himeka to Maria was ouch. It was ouch. Maria smashed her head off the mat and it was over. Jesus. So yeah, Himeka does not hold up on the power bomb.
No, that power bomb is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones.
Yeah, it puts Batista to shame.
Damn right.
Moving on, it was the other first round semifinal whatever match. It was Suzuki Kagama and Mayu Iwatani defeating the Cosmic Angels, Mina Shirakawa, Tam Nakano, and Unagi Sayaka.
Really thought I was going to predict the entire night correctly. No. I really did. I was feeling good. Feeling good.
What did you say? I think you said...
I picked Stars and DDM.
Yeah.
And I was right.
You were right.
But I just got the main event wrong. Brutal. Which they changed the card on us, by the way. They didn't have the ladder match set as the main event on their usual like card thing, which is usually in most Japanese company the card. Like they don't usually switch it up, but they did for this, which makes sense. I mean,
they probably changed it for like a last minute.
Oh, it made fucking sense after a while. Mayu's really good. Hazuki's really good. Koguma got beat up a lot in these two matches. The second match, very good. This was fine. I'm trying not to sneeze.
Sorry, there is a cat here, so you might be allergic.
Yeah. But good match. They've had better though. I think that was my main takeaway.
Yeah, I can see that based off of.
They also didn't let Unagi and Hazuki fight much, which is weird because they're really good together for some reason.
Maybe they're saving for something. Who knows? Let's move on to the big story that came out of the show. It's popping all over Joshi Twitter. The loser, I'm just going to read this whole thing. The loser must join opposite unit versus Masked Captains Fall 8-man tag team match, where it was Oedo Tai defeating the team of Queen's Quest, meaning that Momo is now part of Oedo Tai, but it doesn't seem like she went unwillingly, did she?
This match. Okay, one, probably their best, like, unit changing match they've had this year, but I got some thoughts. I see the cat. I understand.
For the audience at home,
the most unique part of this was that the two people eliminated on Queen's Quest were the World of Stardom champion,
the first elimination.
Yes. Well, her and Konami went over the top rope together.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, this cage match is in German.
Yeah, so this is Utami was not pinned, so that's not shocking. And then Saya Kamatani was then rolled up by Saki Kashima. So the Wonder of Stardom title challenge in a week and a half, and the World of Stardom champion both taken out.
Yeah.
And when that happened, I said, I started to like have something creep into my mind. I was like, this isn't gonna go exactly how I thought, one bit at all. I thought, maybe they'd try to keep them protected, but no, they took them out and
brought it down to Azumi and Momo.
Yes. And by the end, all that was left was Azumi, Momo, and Starlight Kid. It was a 2-on-1. Momo Oz having themselves a time, really good action. And then there was a chair. The chair was introduced, Oedo Tai trying to get the heat, trying to screw over Momo Oz, and you've seen their big purple box. That was like what the ref was busy with because Ravaka was like pulling at it. And then Momo gets the chair and she stands up, and I was like, oh, she's gonna do it. This is the way they're going. She's not gonna hit Starlight Kid. Nope. And she brained Azumi in the middle of the ring. And I felt like I could hear like the Joshi world just like gasp at the same time. I was like, huh. And I like that they didn't have Momo lose. I actually like it.
Yeah.
Because now she kind of instantly becomes the new Oedo Tai leader, which I think that's the right move. I understand the cat. Thank you.
Look, man, it's a new cat.
Oh, this is true. But anyways, I like that they did that because now she's just fully ingrained. Now she loves it. But they should have still told the story differently. Because you have Momo hit Azumi. And really, to me, that's the part that doesn't make sense. That's the part that doesn't click. Azumi was the one fighting for her life in there to keep Momo. The other two, gone. And the story easily could have been Momo, which it ended up pretty much being, was Momo was sick of being passed up for the other two.
Yeah.
That's easily told. Like, that's believable. That's why I think her being like, you know what, this isn't worth it. I want to be at the head of a group. I want to be the one, go to Oedo Tai. Like, that part made sense. And she, for those who don't know, Queen's Quest was a heel group back in the day when it started. Io Shirai was the heel. She turned on Mayu, and if you turn on Mayu, you're pretty much enemy number one, which everyone does nowadays. So it's not as cool anymore. But Oedo Tai, was kind of cool. But Queen's Quest was a heel group. Momo was always a heel. And if you watch her in her matches, she doesn't ever shake anyone's hand. She doesn't ever really respect anyone. So fully embracing that, I think, is a good thing. I don't want them to start doing all this heel heat with the Oedo Tai stuff. Like, I think this should be an entire changing of Oedo Tai moving forward.
It should be badasses killing people.
Right. They should be badasses. Her and Starlight Kid leading the front. Easy. Very simple. Like, if the lesser ones want to cheat because, they have to try to win, that's whatever. I don't care. But in Momo matches, Starlight Kid matches, which we've seen with Starlight Kid, but she doesn't really cheat too much in her matches. And I think that's where to go. So I like the switch. I warmed up to the switch anyways, because it was always going to happen once Konami especially announced that she was leaving.
Yeah.
But the way they did it was a swerve. I know a lot of people hated it. A lot of people did, because I understand why. I think it would have worked so much better if she smashed Utami in the head with a chair, because instantly you're like, oh, well, we know why.
Yeah.
One, she wants the title. Two, she's sick of, being passed up by her former partner who she pretty much taught everything. Like that's the story they're going with. She's going to probably eventually challenge Utami for the title. I think that's a must now.
And it definitely puts a suspect into the Shuri match coming up.
Yeah, I think you're passing up an opportunity now, because if say Utami beats Shuri, you have a match with Momo now that going into it you could fully believe either one could win. And I think that is a big addition. You have a big match down the road. And if Saya wins the white belt, you also have that if you really wanted to, when Saya wins the white belt, not if. I like the direction of Momo taking over Oedo Tai, because I think that's how I see it. I see her. She's taking it over. And I always thought she had to be the leader. Momo doesn't play third fiddle, and that's the story that they're telling now. Like, that was my thought when I was pitching it. I was like, she's never going to be lower than second on the totem pole in an Oedo Tai.
And this was a perfect opportunity, both in storyline and out of storyline, to give Momo to bring Momo back up the card in a way.
Right. And I think a lot of people are like, well, they don't care about Oedo Tai, and they'll, lose it after a while. And when I say they, I mean Stardom. They kind of do this thing where they push them a little bit and then take it back. I think people need to realize, if you look at Oedo Tai compared to every other group, until right now, they only had one person that was really, main event worthy pushing, and that was Starlight Kid. Now they have two, and they have a great two. They're both young. They're both, Momo's 21, and Starlight Kid is, I don't know idea. I think she's 18. Either way, they have, this just great future to build them around. And I think Oedo Tai can rise from its slumber that much more with Momo in the driver's seat. So I'm looking forward to it.
Plus, you have Natsuko
Tora, which will be another story. That's my thing.
Somewhere at some point will return.
When she comes back, I can't imagine her and Momo working well together.
No.
And that's a story. And I think best case scenario is Starlight Kid and Momo eventually break off together.
I also just like the idea of Starlight Kid and Momo just like taking over Oedo Tai and just like, this is our group now. And then they're like, and they kick, I don't know, Kashima to the curb or something. And I'm just picking someone. And they're just like, get out of here. We don't care about you.
Like
and then the refugees of Tora and Kashima are like, okay, where are we gonna go?
Yeah,
I like that idea.
Yeah, because I think it's easy to agree. Momo and Starlight Kid are the stars of the group.
Yeah,
End of story. They are now the certified stars. And I think this gives Momo a chance to be more of who she's best at being.
Yes.
Which is that heel.
Yes.
You
assuming
can see
it's the badass heel and not away to tie bullshit.
That's what she was. She was a dominant champion when she held the white belt. And you saw it, so like say night 1 in the 5-star when she fought Mayu, she walked out there all pissed off and that's just the best version. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what she does now in the driver's seat. And now we can talk about the main event for 2 seconds because you just got to see it more than hear me talk about it.
Yeah, Momo set up quite nicely to have a good year next year, assuming all goes well.
And as big of a Momo fan as I am, that's what I'm happy about. I think she should have a great year.
Artist of Stardom title and 10 million yen unit tournament final ladder elimination match. It was Himeka, Maika, and Natsupoi ending up retaining their titles and winning all of the money, Squid Game style, by eliminating their competition, Hazuki, Kagama, and Mayu Iwatani.
So you'll learn once you watch this, which I think you should, is that the match starts off where they seem very tentative about the ladder. Seem very trying to feel it out.
Yeah. Have we done a ladder match in Stardom before?
No. Natsupoi was terrified. You could just kind of tell the way she was climbing it. She'd climb it fast and whatnot, but when she got to the top, she was like, "Oh my god, all right," which is fair. I mean, normal people. I was like, okay, maybe we don't have any Jeff Hardys here tonight. I ended up being wrong.
That's on you, man. You should have guessed.
And they're using these ladders that are real ladders, and they're kind of flimsy a little bit once you start moving fast on them.
Yeah.
But just to bring up the main spots, Micah hit a superplex on Mayu from the top of the ladder, which maybe not even 5 minutes later, they had the ladder in the corner. Closed in the corner.
This GIF is going around, folks.
Yeah. Instead of opening it, Kogama and Hazuki hold the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Much like the spotters from Final Battle.
and we have to explain, the ladder is tilted a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that's how it is in the corner.
Yeah. They're not holding it a perfect 90 degrees.
No. And Mayu Iwatani starts climbing it and proceeds to hit a picture perfect moonsault from the tippity top onto Micah. I imagine that video GIF has made it outside of the just Joshi circle, and I think I know why, because it's just anytime someone does something crazy from a ladder, you end up seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the Joshi circle, so it doesn't really. I'm. Anyways,
yeah,
just an insane spot. Then there's a spot later in the match where Kogama gets to the top of a ladder in the ring and does a crossbody to all of DDM on the outside of the ring. But I think the moonsaults will be the just because of the way the ladder was set and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just absolutely insane. And in the end, DDM won, which is shocking, but that was to pay off the story that Hameka and Poi are fine and yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
Micah and Kogama were the only two eliminated.
Yes. Yeah. Donna Del Mondo.
Donna Del Mondo.
I'm reading it. I can't even say
We just call them DDM.
DDM. Hashtag DDM is fine.
Hashtag DDM is fine. Yes.
Yeah, everything's okay. And also they're 10 million yen richer. So good on them. Which
I said this after. I was like, shame on me for thinking DDM was going to lose a match.
To be fair, I think the idea there was that, Himeka is doing all these things that are not in line with what the rest of the group does. So it's maybe something will happen.
Also,
no. They got it together.
Somehow they got this picture.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Of Mayu doing the moonsault.
That's awesome.
And I was like, wow.
That's a phone background right there.
Yeah. It was fantastic. Really good ladder match for, 6 people that I don't think have ever been in a ladder match.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's that. It was it just the one ladder?
They had to. They brought in a bigger one for
Oh.
them to ultimately get it because
One
they put
weapon
it so
ladder.
high. I was like,
one weapon ladder, one retrieve ladder.
yep, that's all you need.
I love
That's
it.
all you need.
I love it. Well, that is it for us, folks. That is, again, Ring Post Radio. Thank you so much for listening. Scotty's got to get out of here. Scotty, I'll let you do your plugs, and then you can go off, and I can close out the show on plugs if you like.
Alrighty. Follow me at Scott E Wrestling on Twitter. My match of the week that happened during this week. Well, because I watched, you and me both are catching up in certain ways. So, I have to remember what I watched from this week. I'll go Hiromu versus Yo when you don't count show.
What a specific parameter.
I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Copy that. You can follow me at Ryan Icey on Twitter. You can follow me at CountOutPod, or not follow me, but follow us all at CountOutPod. That's the network. The Countout Year-End Awards are underway, like we said at the top of the show. So I tweeted out. There's a link in the description of the podcast episode. We'll put it out on social media and everything, where you can go vote right now on who your winners are. I voted already. Scotty, I don't know if you voted yet. I haven't checked. Probably not, since you just received the link today, this morning. But yes, go vote on who you want to be the winners of the Countout Year-End Awards. First, second place, and third place. My match of the week is probably, it is probably just going to be as much as I dogged on it, it's probably still Danielson and Page. It was still the best match I saw all week.
That's very funny.
But I'm going to give some props. I'm just going to say, I'll say this as the tertiary one. Secondary. The 8-man tag on Rampage, the Taylor, Orange, Romero, Trent versus Fish, Cole, and the Jackson brothers. That was also a very good match. I really enjoyed that match as well.
Please don't ever call them Jackson brothers again.
The Jackson brothers, them and Malachi.
Oh, and programming alert.
Yes.
We are not airing at all next week in any form. We are taking a nice Christmas break.
Yes.
And we'll be back the week after with 2 shows, kind of.
Yes. We don't know exactly when the bonus show is. It'll probably be like Thursday or Friday, maybe. Something like that.
So before...
It'll be after Queendom, which is on Wednesday, and before Day 1, which is on Saturday. So it's going to be that Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, and then we're going to do an award show.
On the following Sunday.
Yeah, which will probably be nighttime because I work 10. So yeah, both shows will be nighttime because you're gonna. Do you work at all the next week? Oh no, so we can do whenever.
I'm off the next 2 weeks, except I work tomorrow and Tuesday, and then I'm in Maryland for.
So yeah, we'll aim for Thursday or Friday, whatever gives you the most time to watch Stardom.
Yeah. Probably Friday would be the most.
Because then we're previewing Day 1. We're previewing Wrestle Kingdom. Oh my God.
It's not going to be that bad. I think a lot of it's 8 multi-man tags. So who gives a crap?
Well, we're breaking it up into 2 shows. If we're doing the award show on here at the same time, or like year-end show, I'm going to call, instead of like the award show. We're not just talking awards and moving on with our lives.
Yes.
But yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll make sure to tweet that stuff out. But I got to go. This show's over. Thanks for joining us. Talk to you in 2 weeks.
Yes. Goodbye.